Welcome. It's the Saturday Day 6 recap, Lone Wolves podcast. I am the Doc, John Macaroon. Thanks for coming in. Over the next hour or so, we'll talk about what I saw today. Fans were present, good energy. The running backs showing off their hands. The rookies balling out. They're handling their business. Lots to get into. Drop your questions. If you drop a super chat, leave us a little bit of appreciation for coming on daily. We'll get to your question first. And I'll tease some things. If you tip, leave a super chat. I'll fill in on who's using some great moves, who's learning, who's developing. I'll go through the banners faster. I'll share some inside information on what I saw. But it was great to have, first and foremost, the fans there. And so you set the stage. It's muggy out there, but there's no place for the media to hide. They had to stand on the field. No shade. They had to stand there today because the fans took over and they were boisterous right away. And so you get out there and it's day 6. Everybody's excited. First day in pads. And everybody's out there looking to see about the offensive and defensive lines, looking at wide receivers, looking at the young rookies, the quarterbacks, the matchups. But one of the first things that happens is you notice, fans are back. Some of the players came back, which was a good thing. It was a good thing to see a lot of returning players. Most notably, one of the defensive captains. So I scanned the field right away. We walk all the way to the side, and you notice 34 is back. And I look for a second. Oh, that's him and his long hair. Standing out there in the middle of the two fields right away when practice started. And we're like, okay. Oh, Alex is back. Some questions. Kyle, good question. I might get to that faster if you leave a super chat, notification, hit a lot of likes, get the likes up. 9,300 people viewing right now live. Retweet, more comments on YouTube, and I'll get to great questions. I'll highlight it. And if you want it done right away, leave that super chat. I'll get to it right away. Super chats, subscriptions. I appreciate it so much for all the support that you guys give. Thank you, Kyle. Much appreciated. Every single day, come out here and just bring you the inside information. So I walk through, and Alex is there. I'm like, oh, boom. I think I was the first to tweet it out there. Within like 3 minutes I got there. I was like, oh, that's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, all right, is he going to practice? And, naturally the first thing you think about is, does that mean a new contract? So those in the chat that want to know about the young rookie 61, it's going to be some good talks. I got a banner ready. The rookies played well. But Alex, first and foremost, we're going to start there. Thank you guys so much, first and foremost. I really do appreciate those that will acknowledge that you go read my articles, not just the headlines. Today I spent a lot of time, and I'll talk about that too. I wanted to get out here. I know I was late. I said 2:45, but there's so much notes to get through and get my thoughts in order. I have so much energy. I feel like I can go 2 hours today. Maybe I will. I got no place I'd rather be than to hang out, talk Detroit Lions football, share what it was like. But first and foremost, want to get to Alex Anzalone. Got through warm-ups. I got video footage of it, but I kind of chose more of the highlights. He just basically maneuvered a little bit, tested it out. Best way to put it. Looked okay. Didn't participate in the team periods. So it was a light day. Get out there, warm up a little bit. First team, walk through reps, get your feel and bearings. Now, he does after speak to the media, which is good. I think, okay, fine. You're going to be a captain. You want to be accountable. He's not declining interviews. And I think the funny question was the ones that were asking from the media, does that mean your contract is done? Guys, the second, literally, I will tell you how this goes, which I thought was a funny question. So I followed up, and luckily, it was respectful this time. So we're back on even keel, me and Alex. Alex Anzalone's like, no, man, it doesn't mean I have a new contract. Literally how it's going to go is the minute his contract is agreed to, the representative will relay the message to the masses. And then it'll filter down the NFL pipeline. So it won't be where he's out there at practice with a new deal and nobody knows about it. So that was a funny question. He's like, no, man. He's almost started laughing. So he was just going, what's next? He's going to reevaluate with the trainers, and we'll see on Monday after a day off if he's out there further. But he does not have a new contract. So my question to Alex, which I posted at Detroit Podcast, which is the hub of the operation, was, okay, you don't have to tell us the details if you're happy, not happy. Is it just fair to say that there's no movement? Can you give us a little sense of, is it moving in a direction where you're happy or not happy? I didn't say, hey, tell me your feelings on it. I just wanted to say, is it fair to say maybe we're at a standstill? Like, hey, we want a number and they want a number and we're kind of not moving. I just feel like an assessment would help people kind of understand where you're at. But he gave the no comment, which is fine. I felt like my question was fair, which you can see exactly. I posted exactly the words I used. I said, is it just fair to say maybe you're at a standstill? Like, can you just give us a little bit of like info where it's at? Are you happy? Is it moving in a direction? Like, you don't have to give us your feelings, and you could be stonewall. You could say, we're in talks, and we'll leave it at that. Because I think, you can share a little bit of information without going overboard. So I felt like his answers were fair. There's a lot of people trying to ask about the contract, and we don't know. We don't know the status of the contract because he didn't reveal, other than he's unhappy. So we don't know why he's unhappy, if it's term, length, guaranteed money beyond 2025, 26. Does he want, to make 3 years, 45 million? Is he okay with a couple? We don't know any details, which is fine. He doesn't want to negotiate in the media. I just wanted to know, like, are we at a neutral zone? I might have even lied if he wasn't. Just been like, yeah, we're kind of neutral. It's like, okay, I know what I want. They know what they want. We got to figure it out. Simple as that. But he chose not to answer it. So Alex is back in pads. That should indicate, because a hamstring injury. Hopefully his hamstring stays healthy throughout the course of training camp when he gets out there. So today was a day where a lot of players came back, which was a good sign. Good sign for a lot of players to come back at practice. Unfortunately, the team captain on defense, currently one of the best safeties, a player that whether he's named one or not, Kirby Joseph, one of the leaders per se, was not there. Kirby Joseph, yesterday, we didn't see what happened. He was just with trainers yesterday. He didn't leave practice, but he was not there at practice today. And it's unfortunate. DJ Reed, the veteran defensive back, was there, but did not participate a whole heck of a lot in drills. We'll go through here and discuss who returned and everything like that. For those that had any concern, Dan Campbell said that the reason Tyleek was not there on Friday was a personal matter. Not injury related. He was out there today. 91 was back. So that was good to see. Good to see number 91 out there, and he played well. Very much pleasant to see that some of the players that were not there for a minute were able to return. So it was good to see, because the fans definitely were chanting and into it right away as the energy was there. And even in warm-up stretches, just seeing the fan base there. And I think the connection that the Lions fans have with their team is great. Now, if you were there, let me know. Fill us in. If you were from the fan perspective, how did you see it? Share in the chat. It's great. We're a community. Let us know, because I had the vantage point of just watching what was going on in the field. I do get a sense that they were a little bit stricter on the footage. Not a lot of footage was coming out because, guys, if you're showing practice footage of formations, like, we're only allowed a certain window. So always remember that the clips you see from me are at a certain periodically timed window. And I'll talk about that too, because you guys are giving me heat for showing Goff. He threw a duck. It happens. But yeah, it was a duck. But yeah, Goff throws good passes. Goff throws bad passes. One of the quarterbacks I'll share tried to aim at the targets, the 4 targets in the net, and one of the quarterbacks, one of the 3, whiffed completely. And he paid the price for it with a physical exercise. You want to know who it is right now? Leave a super chat. I'll tell you who it is right now. It was funny to see. It's like, oh, he didn't hit it. He didn't hit it at all. It was like there's, I think, 5, I think, targets within a net. Upper left, upper right, middle, lower left, lower right, and he was not anywhere near it. So that I thought was funny. all the way around to see. But I've seen it before with golf, and sometimes you get into a rhythm where you are in point. Those are warm-up drills. That's what we're allowed to show you. So when I show you a toss from Goff to Jahmyr Gibbs, it's an individual period. So don't get too heated, because that's competitive balance. If you're showing, hey, this is the motion used, and hey, this is a trick play, they don't want that to be highlighted and definitely revealed to the masses, because there are people watching every single thing that's done. Other returning players, note this: number 9, Ennis Rakestraw, back out there. Roy Lopez moving around. Tyleik Williams back. Al-Quadin Muhammad and Tim Patrick were all back. So it was good to see. Unfortunately, the young defensive back, Ian Kennelly, was not there. Missed the first time today. Only one player today, Stanley Thomas Oliver, left practice after a rep in which he got beat and getting evaluated, I believe, for a hamstring injury. So that was the start. And the fans were into it. The fans were really into it. Absolutely. I promised that I'm going to try and do it, bring you the inside coverage, even bring you a little bit of my notes, bring you a little bit of a mix of what you guys are saying and what I want to say. And I'm excited to interact with you guys. You guys give me the energy to do it, and you have good questions. And like I said, if you want your question addressed right away, it can be just as small as a couple dollar donation. I mean, it goes a long way. It helps me support the staff. It doesn't go to me. It goes to the staff, the people that keep the lights on, the equipment, all the good stuff here. And it just helps. You guys have been so generous. I really do appreciate it. Hit the notification bell, the free and easy way. If you just want to support for free, like this stream. It means a lot. Subscribe. Tell people. I'll address that, Tyler. It's a good question. It's a good comment. Some people are not concerned. Some are. Thank you so much, Derek. Great guy. You've done great guests. You've supported us greatly with the interviews you've done with Logan and everything you've done. Keep it going. Oh, yeah. I think you guys realize I might be the biggest sicko. Good questions. You guys got good questions. I'm going to get to them all. I think that might have been something that was addressed with them. Go check out right now if you want some supplemental information, because I'm going to go through this. I'm going to pace myself. I'm in no rush. Got my water here. There should be no reason why I'm in a rush to leave today. I want to empty what's in my mind. I should come back tomorrow for a real short one, just a kind of summation, what I liked, what I didn't like. Today I can take my time, go through everything, and we can spend some time together. Yeah, smash the like button. Let's go. Like the stream, and we'll go through it. So the players that were out there, so it was good. We get to warm ups. We start seeing, all right, it's fair. You start to see what's about to take place. You definitely want to see, and I think the drills that you get to see on an early level definitely set the tone. Passing drills, one-on-ones, things like that. And so if you want some supplemental information about JMO, go check it out. My theme today of my written content, and everybody has different things. I've just been hitting, I think a lot of people like the stories of some of the unsung heroes, the undrafted rookies and things like that. I'm bringing you a mix of the rookies and the first week, the highlights, the Ahmed Hassaneins, the JMOs, the Goffs, the Jahmyr Gibbs, the Saints. I'm bringing you the steak first. And then as camp develops and I develop relationships on the side with some of the young players. Today we talked to Dominic Lovett. We'll have what he said on the site. But right now I'm bringing you the steak. And the steak today was JMO. I was like, okay, he's improved. Everybody knows he's improved. JMO talked. Let me ask Dan Campbell. So before the practice today, my question to Dan was, all right, we all know he's doing good. He's developing. What do you need him to keep doing? What's the point of emphasis was the phrase I used. I like that word. What do you want him to work on? He's good. He's fast. And I'll share one of the players. If you go right to the article, you'll know who it was. One of the players I have a good rapport with doesn't like the JMO question anymore. He's like, y'all keep asking me it. I don't think he understood maybe the spirit of it, and I can clear that up. He's like, y'all keep asking me. I'm just going to keep giving you the same answer. But I think my question was fair because I asked everybody kind of the same question, which was I asked his teammates too, what is it that when you got a receiver that talent, what does he bring to the offense and what is he showing you early on? Because JMO's better route running. He just looks the part. When you see a confident receiver, you can tell. He knows where he's got to be. So one of the first takeaways is Jamo's having a great camp, clearly. And he's there. He looks more confident. Depth of route is great. Route tree looks good. He's more confident in his mechanics and everything going on. Hands are better. You don't see the early on. And you guys, it's okay. Some of you were a little bit picky, but early in the first couple years, he dealt with drops where he just would be in practice and the ball would just fly out of his hand. That hasn't really happened. Ball on hand. Jugs machine's helping him out. And I think he's definitely realizing, when you practice well, take what you do in practice and it applies to your game. So Jamo is not putting the ball on the turf sillily like he did. And you guys were there. There's probably 4,000 people there at Allen Park. No real serious drops. Yeah, there's incompletions, miscommunications, but no real silly drops from Jamo at training camp. So I asked his teammates, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Isaac Tesla, Dan Campbell, and then using what Jamo said to the media when we had a chance to talk to him. So go check it out. It's just basically, guys, and it's something to get excited about. If Dan Campbell is setting the tone with what he said, the headline is Jamo's just beginning to scratch the surface of his talent. If this is scratching the surface, if that's the case and not just training camp hype, look out, because now we're talking Justin Jefferson, rarefied air, CeeDee Lamb, Jamo, and he belongs in that talk. Sounds good, doesn't it? Jamo, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. Maybe one day we'll start with Jamo as the best wide receiver in the league. And he has that potential. So you can go see what those players said. He's helping out even Isaac Tesla. Everybody's in awe of what Jamo can do. So that's one of the early takeaways. So you get through it. I get through my notes here. I'm going to go through quite a bit of it, probably. Maybe today's nitty-gritty day, hardcore day, where I just go through a little bit of my notes and everything that went down. But let me go through the main things that I have here. And make sure you guys, if you have any questions, like I said, get them highlighted. I know they're coming in fast and furious. I'll take a portion of time to ask some questions, maybe after a couple banners, but keep them there. And again, if I don't get to your question, my humble apologies. Just ask in the comments after the stream. Just go, hey, what do you think about this? Or you can go to the observations on X and just ask the questions there at Detroit Podcast. There is a way, if it doesn't work out here, to get to hopefully an answer that you're looking for. So let me go through the main takeaways and what I'm going to break down first. And then I'll go through the practice as well. I think that's how I'm going to do it. The young receivers balled out today. Jackson Meeks, Isaac Tesla. They handled business. Even an old friend alert handled his business. Penei Sewell, I asked him to rebound yesterday. Ask and Doc shall receive. Penei Sewell won some one-on-ones. The defensive end that you guys care about? Should I go there right now? Do you want me to go right to that topic? I'll give you a chance to pick. Should I go right to number 61? Let me know what you think. Which topic should I go to? Young receivers, Penei, Ahmed, Hassanein, doing his thing. I know his family definitely is invested in what the young rookie's doing, knowing their proud son and brother and close confidant friend is doing great things in Detroit. Had a good practice. I should start there. I like the man. He's got good energy. Everything's good about him. Had a good practice. Defensive tackles. Dominant. Clogging the middle. Making things a nightmare. And I like the reporting, too. It's kind of funny. I want to give you guys a holistic approach of practice because I feel like there's a slant and I feel like the truth needs to be told. And I always want to set the table because I definitely feel like a lot of the reporting is on the 7-on-7 where it's a lot of positivity. Well, yeah, it's 7-on-7. That favors the offense. I think you should kind of give a holistic approach. And so, again, that's why I want to always let you guys know that if you join, if there are fans in the stands, we will have a live blog where if you're on the internet, you can just go every 10 minutes. I am typing, what's the play? What's happening? It's kind of like a little sample of what's going to hit the observations. And I think you'll guys find it on the Detroit Lions on SI website worthwhile. You can just kind of follow along or follow along on X at Detroit Podcast too. You can set up and be like, oh man, I'm there. I know what's going on, what period it is, what's going on, who's making some plays, some highlights. And then the nitty gritty is in the observations. Theo, thank you. Much appreciated. Just one of you guys. I'm one of you. All I would say was if there was somebody that was in the media that would share what was going on in detail or what was going on to put you guys in the chair, because I know it's only 3,000 seats and there's 20,000 people every day that want to be there. So I want to give a little slice of what it's like to be there. And I'll even share with, like I said, my notes. I'm an open book. Within all the rules possible, I'm an open book. And I'm just one of you guys. Just a competitive podcaster that wanted to cover the NFL. And so the least I could do for you guys putting me in training camp, you guys put me there with all the support and the podcast and everything that was going on. So let's go and let me take again a big look here at the banners. So the rookies did well. The wide receivers, the young wide receivers did well. Penei Sewell rebound. The defensive tackles were dominant. Jake Bates, the field goal report, get that out of the way. Didn't miss a kick, 6 from varying degrees. I believe I saw someone posted it was from 63. I don't think it was that far, but he had some kicks from distance. But it was 6 kicks, nothing missed today. A+ from Jake Bates. All right. Let's start with the main event here. I think what people want to see. The young receivers were making highlight catches, meaning Jackson Meeks doing his thing. Competitive. These guys are probably right away knowing, okay, there's only maybe a certain spot for wide receiver 5 or a spot on the practice squad. Isaac Tesla figures to be a guy that's going to be on the roster. But Jackson Meeks did his thing. Tom Kennedy had a highlight catch today. Did his thing. And so that gives you guys confidence that the receivers are able to make plays and show out and compete at a high level. It's good for John Morton. I think I asked Dominic Lovett, who had a good day today. Dominic Lovett showed out. He did his thing. And he was somebody that was around the football, was given the football. He had a chance to make a spectacular, supremely difficult catch, toe tap in the end zone, but he got pushed out of bounds. So he had a chance. But he still had a good practice. I wrote his number down quite a bit. And I'm like I said, I'm going to go through the highlights, and then I'm going to go through the entire notes that went down today. With each passing section, I'll give the highlights of everything that went down. But yeah, the young receivers be impressed. And then what better way to cap off a practice where Isaac Tesla is one-on-one and can win a contested catch? That's nice from Hendon Hooker. That's real nice. And so he's stringing together nice plays. And somebody asked me, which is a good question, about Isaac Tesla and his injury. Yeah, he is wearing some protective gear there. Just a little bit of compression over his knee, left knee, I believe. And it's one of those deals where it's not affecting his execution, but you see, he's, it's something that he was dealing with in OTAs. I don't think it was as pronounced today as it was earlier in the week. So it's just something that's there, nothing that's impacting him. He's getting open, and he's your X receiver that can get open and make plays. So highlight catches today. Good to see. Great to see. Good to see at training camp where the young players are making plays, being impactful, giving the quarterback a chance to make some plays. And so that's competitive. Jackson Meeks doing his thing. Love it. Meeks love it. Will be something to watch as camp progresses. Something that's on my highlight sheet to pay attention to. Meeks love it. Let's see which of the two. Love it definitely, I think, has the leg up right now on the depth chart. But Meeks is making plays, gets his number written quite a bit. You'll hear me talk about the play that he made when I get to the notes. So that was one of my first takeaways today. It was really good. So Penei Sewell, you saw, and I'll talk about it too, because, man, the video team, he's got to go talk to the video team and like, what did I do to treat? Did I do y'all dirty? They literally, the video team, he's got to go up to admin and be like, y'all did me dirty. Aiden called a shot on Friday and was like, watch this. I'm going to use this swim move. He's like, I think this is going to work. And then he went and they showed it. And bam, he used a swim move that was probably the cleanest win against Penei Sewell you're going to see in a one-on-one that's filmed and that's filmed and released to the public. Absolutely. So it was nice to see him rebound today. Nice to see him win his one-on-one reps. Nice to see him anchor, help out a little bit. Yeah, it was. I was, like I said, I was a little bit surprised that Aiden was able to win that clean. And those are good matchups. Those are always fun matchups to watch when Penei Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson go O-line, D-line. It's just must see. If you guys get a chance from your vantage point in the seats, pay attention, man. They're great to see. They're truly great to see when you're able to see two great players. And you just only make each other better. Penei Sewell has only been part of the reason why Aiden looks the way he is and 97 is getting written in every single book is because he's battling 58. It's a great thing. So, it's just one of those deals where, Penei Sewell, I mean, he talked to the media too. I have his audio, and we're going to release a collection of the biggest quotes that were said today. I talked nearly today. I don't know how much I had the good coffee. I was just scooting around for all the media interviews. I had 7, 8, 9 people in my audio book here that we got. So I was like, holy cow. All right. What did I see here? I'll give the quick, because I don't think my O-line, D-line notes hit the official yellow paper, which I'll talk about because it made some funny news on X. What happened? Penei Sewell shut down Hutchinson today in the one-on-one. Marcus Davenport tried a move. Didn't work. Tried to get cute. Bull rush. Used to try to swim move, and it was interesting. Marcus Davenport, crafty. These guys are all crafty trying to win. Davenport lined up, opposite of Penei in a one-on-one. Try to spin move. No. But during a team period, one of your reserves, sorry. I think I'll tread lightly in the manner in which I describe it, because if I see him in the locker room, he could, Undertaker chokeslam me. So I'll say it delicately. One of your reserves faced off against Aiden in a team period and cleanly beat. Cleanly beat. I'm talking about no chance, not the best move, and just, dear Lord, don't let it happen again, because it was tough. In the one-on-ones, Graham Glasgow was okay. Better in the one-on-ones than he was in the team periods. DJ Reader tried to get through. Nothing happened. And Christian Mahogany continues to show quality. Tried to get beat out by Tyleek Williams and Keith Cooper. Didn't happen. Others that stood out, Coyote Awasika, Michael Neese, got some positive wins. Fortunately, Manu, not the best today in one-on-ones. Pat O'Connor and Mitchell Agude, they got him. The battle that he has that's competitive is with Ahmed Hassanein. Ahmed is not able to exactly bull rush his way through in the one-on-ones, but definitely the hammer, Hassanein, right? He's like, I want to choose to be the hammer. Tried, but it's a good competition. Manu versus Hassanein was more of a draw, in my opinion, but Manu didn't have his best day overall today. Up and down. But in terms of the one-on-ones, that's the recap there. All right. I know you want to know about it. The young rookie is Really, really, really likable. When you see his media sessions, he's got a lot of good energy. He's got a good spirit. He draws people in. You want to talk to him. I hope it's not just because I've seen it before. I hope it's not just youthful energy. And what that means is when Sam Laporta, his first two media sessions, it was like he was the king of the world. It was like he was happy, smiling, joking, and I don't know what happened. He turned into a Patricia quote guy. He just doesn't like it anymore. He liked it on the podcast with his friend, but just go back and look. It's all documented. His first media session, Sam Laporta was joking and inviting, same as Ahmed Hassanein. And then something switched, and now it's kind of the cliche. I don't know what happened. I don't think anything was written that bad about Sam Laporta. It wasn't for me. I hope the same stays with the young rookie. He's welcoming. He's got a good energy. You like to talk to him. Those are the people you like to talk to. And he got talked to by the radio station today. So, it's one of those things where it's a player that you want to root for and you want to talk to him. Everybody wants to talk to him. You're going to see stories galore, features galore about this guy. He's got a unique story, a unique energy, the Middle Eastern passion. I know about that. The drive that you have to do one more show than somebody else. One more show. That's why Middle Eastern people are successful is we have that drive. We know that if somebody's doing 7 shows, you got to do 8. If someone's doing 8 shows a week, you got to do 9. That's just the way it is to be successful. And he's got that. He's got that flair. He's got that drive. And listen, the best way to put it is when you see somebody like Aiden Hutchinson dominating with swim moves, you copy it. And so Ahmed's media session on Friday was great. He's like, Aiden told him, like, bro, that's my move. And he's like, I'm just trying to win. I'm just trying to win. He used it today and he won. He won reps. Swim move. Using it. I wrote it down. I'm like, that son of a gun. That son of a gun is using Aiden's move to win. And that's right. That's what good teammates do. It's all in joking. It's all in good fun. But Ahmed Hassanein features power moves, swim moves, and he's moving up the depth chart, getting opportunities on the second team because he's going to play. Dan Campbell said that he expects rookies to play. And that rookie, one of them is going to be 61. He's going to play Thursday. You just almost book it. So it's one of those deals where you get to see him and he's just got a nonstop motor. He wins reps. He's out there more. And he's got a relentless passion to compete at every rep. And every practice, he screams his head off. He gets his own energy by the primal scream of like, hey, this is football. That's tough to say. I just say they both had different skill sets. I think that Hassanein has all the intangibles you would want. Now it's going to be how do you use those skills against other competition? I think James Houston had it, but I think that maybe the lesson learned for the Lions is if Hassanein has a developing skill set, they're doing it piece by piece. Okay, identifying where you need to be on the field, identifying the defenses, and identifying what the offense is doing piece by piece. I think James Houston was a little bit further along, and so they wanted to jump into turning him into a 3-down defensive end. It just didn't happen. But that's a whole different subject I'll talk about maybe on a podcast. The Lions botched James Houston. It just was a botch. He had a skill set. You should have took advantage of it. But they just kind of viewed him as, hey, we need you to do 3, 4, 5 other things. He just couldn't do it. Whereas Hassanein has he is a 6th-round pick with the clear goal of developing skills each day, identifying each skill that you have to do in the package, which is, hey, you start off with, let's say, 8 skills. Now we need you to get to 10, master them. Now you need to get to 12. Now you got to do and understand these 13, 14 things you got to understand. And metaphorically, the more you understand, good, you master it. Now you build it out and build your skill set in pass coverage, in the moves that you make, in your assignments, and the movements you make, and your recognition, your keys, reading, understanding your assignments on every play. Listen, the defensive end position is so beautiful to learn and watch, and I've done that for 15 years. It's not only just rushing the passer. It's, hey, what's your relationship with the defensive tackle next to you? What's that look like on a certain play? Where you need to be? And Ahmed's going to learn all of that. And the Egyptian magician, the hammer, he wants to be known as the hammer. No, it was just simple. He was released because he didn't get to the point where he could be and be somebody that could handle all the responsibilities of being a three down defensive end. The hammer. He wants to be the hammer. And what does that mean? It means that on every rep, I want to win. And if I don't win, why didn't I win? So he's got all the tools. He's likable. Well, I hope he stays that way. And if he doesn't, the family in the chat, I'll let him know, like, hey, he turned corporate on us. He turned PR on us. I hope it doesn't happen. I would be sad. I would truly, not a lot of players are like, okay, you just go, okay, good to interview, good. Others, you're like, oh, don't talk to him. Corporate, not going to say anything. Too shy. Too cliche. Ahmed's genuine. I hope he stays that way. I don't know what factors change. I never ask. Like, you don't go to a player and be like, man, you used to be cool. Now you're not. It's, the hijinks and hilarity are for me. It's just, oh, that's just what it is. I'm not doing a full psychological breakdown of the athletes. It's, but I have the blessing is when you do have rapport with players, it's so different. It's so rewarding that it makes it fun. So for me, as long as you get, a handful of players that can put a sentence together and are real and can handle a tough question, their job is easy. My questions aren't that tough because if they're paying attention to anything, they'll know what's coming. You just know how to answer it. Answer honestly. So Hassanein uses Aiden's moves, wins reps, showcases what he's about, works hard on all the units that he's put in, and he's battling Mason Miller quite a bit. Fortunately, the guy that was on the receiving end today of that swim move that got beat was Mason Miller, and so he's learning. Mason is a young offensive lineman that can play all 5 positions, very strong, very stout, has some good reps, but Hassanein has gotten his way a little bit with number 63. But I like it. I like what I'm seeing from the young rookie. Jameson Williams, clearly a rookie out there that's doing some things, and I'll talk about him with the defensive tackles. So one of the things that is another takeaway is the defensive tackles, I thought, across the board, were doing some nice things today, and it was nice to see. And what does that mean? It means that when you go to practice, a lot of times the first set of runs are going to be, or the first set of plays are going to be runs. They're just going to see the tackling, get into it, get the line moving, shift here, shift there, and let's see who's flying to the football. And right away, Reeder and Jameson Williams were shining, and they were stuffing David Montgomery. There weren't too many explosive runs that were going to happen on that day, on Saturday. It was good. I'll break it down even deeper. Tesla, A+. He had a great play today. I'm going to break it down. So if you missed it, the big takeaways, I'm going to break down each period. I wrote down notes on each period. That's a good question. Jack is the perfect mix in my opinion. And it's not because I've spoken to him about 8 to 12 times separately. It's real, rugged, but can deliver the message that is intended, which is I don't say he's not an introvert. It's all business, which is he's not there. He's a little bit, willing to loosen up a little bit, but he's there to work, learn, and handle business. I understand that side, but I was that way my whole life. So now I get to have fun with an outlet and express myself in a great way. So I'm, way let loose now. I just went, I started I'm looking for that happy medium. I was way serious as a student, introvert, just kept to myself, just wanted to get in and out of school, get a job and get after it. So it's funny that I'm doing this and enjoying the video components. My ceiling I felt for myself was just be an audio guy, do an audio podcast, let your voice be heard, let your ideas be heard. And then all you guys were like, do some videos. There'll be some people that pay attention. I'm like, come on, who would look at this face? gray-haired old man talking on video. I was like, let that be for the handsome people. And you guys said you have something to deliver. And then once I did it, I said, okay, I'm just going to bring what I do on the podcast, but let you guys see it. See my facial expression, see my face. So far, so good. Like I said, I was like, why would a national company make me do videos in 2019? And then I saw the numbers and I was like, oh, okay, you guys aren't as superficial as I thought. You care about the words coming out of my mouth. But I relate to Jack in that all business. Hey, this is what happened, but direct, but gives you the information. Hey, like I'll ask him, hey, what'd you think about this? What'd you think about this play? He'll answer it. But he's not gonna, like I would be like, heck yeah, I did that. Heck yeah, I stonewalled number 5. I'd have a little smile on my face. I'd have a little bit of but I'm remember 46 now. I'm 20 years older than him. And I have all the experience of I no longer care about a lot of things about what people say or anything like that. So Jack's not an introvert. No, all business. But he delivers the message. He's not going to cheer publicly in the media after he stonewalls a running back in a one-on-one drill. I would have fun with it. I'd be like, y'all see that number? Y'all see that tackle I made? Y'all see number 5 on the second rep try to juke me out again? I failed that first time, but not this time. But on the field, no, I think Jack can be the leader. I'm comfortable with Jack. He's got the Chris Spielman vibe, answers the questions. I asked him, in one of the key ways this year, I asked him about Alex. If you guys remember and go watch the video, I asked Jack, do you miss Alex at camp early on? He's like, yeah, he's dealing with stuff, but we know we support him and didn't have a problem answering it. So good question about Jack. And I'll tell you guys more in further podcasts about him. I'll talk to him. I'll get to him because I didn't get a chance to talk to him in the media session with the big group, but I'll get to talk to him, talk some defense, talk a little bit. He got a lot of attention this week. So, but the defensive tackles, not only did they shine on the first team, it was pretty good on the second and third units too. I was pretty happy with what I saw there on the second and third team defensive tackles here. Let me pull up my notes. So that just bodes well for the Detroit Lions defense. Now, part of the reason why, Kelvin Shepard's got some good energy. He's got these guys flying to the football. It's philosophical. They understand where they need to go. Kelvin Shepard, I'll talk about it, some of the stuff that happened after practice. Kelvin Shepard, some of the players say he's got even more passion and energy than Aaron Glenn. And they said Aaron Glenn had a lot of energy. I said, wow, that was a nice note to take. Kelvin Shepard is in a way, for those that are tuning in from the outside world, the national media, if you're tuning in, Kelvin Shepard is relatable in the fact that he's closer in age to the players than Aaron Glenn was. So there's a chance the defense could get even better, more relatable, more passion. Could you imagine a defense that flies around to the football even more? Wow. 2 guys that you want to take notes on today on the second and third team. A player that is definitely a player that media likes to talk to, Pat O'Connor, when he lines up in 4I or 5T, serious business. Run game shut down. No move, no room for the running backs. Mitchell Ogude was awesome too. Made my notes. Number 90, reading here, stuffed the run quite a bit. Rookie, 61. What did I say here? Here's my note. The first time I saw the second team defensive line, Hassanein, O'Connor, Roy Lopez, and Keith Cooper. 3 straight plays clogging the middle. 61, Pat O'Connor, Lopez, and Cooper handle business. And for those asking about Jack Campbell, he made a play today. Getting in there, his recognition of coverage is getting a little bit better, flying to the football. So it's a good sign, right? If your defensive tackles and getting Roy Lopez back, if something happens to Tyleik Williams, again, you know that it's going to be probably in a base set, Tyleik and DJ Reader, bookended by Davenport and Aiden Hutchinson. If you get help from, and some competition from your defensive tackles, it's gonna be fun. Because that's gonna be the question mark, is make sure that your number one job is stuff the run. Can they create pressure? Where's it gonna come from? Yeah. Let me just put it this way. The one player that did not make my notebook, and it's not that he wasn't even a third string, he's just not involved in a lot of reps. Remember, he's coming off of a foot injury. The best way to put it was he's there, but there are times where he's blocking and engaged, but he doesn't win the rep. He doesn't shed the defenders. Nice, Kingsley, Egwakun, they're on him. And when he's facing the third string defensive third string offensive line, doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. He's engaging, but it's not something where he clogs the middle, but you don't see yet the ferocious power to get into the backfield. You don't see ferocity to pass rush yet. But his job is to clog the middle, and he can do that. Moody, yep, absolutely. He's in the mix too. I talked to him. Nice guy to talk to. Cliches for the most part. But gave a little information to me for some side support stuff. So Rakestraw was a lighthearted day. Was there, but wasn't doing anything drastic to get his name out there. I'll take some questions here before I start breaking down the entire. Throw in your questions, as many as possible. I'll get through and roll through before the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to break down the entire day. So those are my big takeaways from today, which you can also kind of get even more in depth on the website, Lions on SI. No, not at all. I'll just roll through some of the questions one by one and get after it. Phil, my man, all Anzo did was the warm-ups. A little bit of hopping, a little bit of checking out the hamstring, testing it out. Roll through the questions, and if anything you want, you just absolutely have to know, throw in a super chat. I'll get right to it. Top of the line. I'll roll through because you guys are hitting the comments well. Please leave the likes, and that's how you really support it. I can do this every day. But if you hit the likes, then more and more people see it, more comments, engage. Then you know how it goes. The algorithms say, oh, this is something that people are interested in. Hit the like button. If there's 600 people here viewing on social media, come on over to YouTube, hit the like button, or throw a retweet if you're watching on X. And that's what's good, too, is that I figured out a way. Oh, there's a platform that can let me broadcast on both sides. I haven't put this on Facebook yet. I don't know if I want to. You know why? I feel like somebody would turn me into some kind of AI person and then put my photo up and said, this guy just said Aiden Hutchinson got traded. I know you would do that. I put my a little bit of a hint of my face on Facebook, and one of y'all out there of the 615 people watching turns my face into an AI photo and starts creating fake stories. That guy said that the Lions are getting sold to Jeff Bezos. I did write that, but I titled it correctly. Rumor, which is could not or could be true back in the day. One day I'll share that story again because it's so funny. It's so funny that what happened with that and the way in which that kind of threw me into the limelight of covering the team. When I was right, I was right. Rumor. And luckily the company I work for supported me and was like, dude said this. He put rumor. Y'all understand English? Rumor. Could be real, could be not. You guys, I'll even throw in some silly questions. QB1, Sports Illustrated Supermodel. Can't get higher than that. Can't at all. So let me hit some of your questions here. Like I said, I got nowhere to go. If you guys are going to stay strong, I'll stay here and stick with it. All right. Start with Theo. Shepard might be an upgrade. I think it'll just be a continuation and a growth. Yeah. Linebackers will develop. I do think that absolutely Kelvin Shepard is intense. He commands a room. And I do think so far so good. I ask him direct questions. He gives me direct answers. He hasn't been challenged yet. the next step will be, how do you handle when maybe your defense doesn't look so good on a certain series? Because we'll ask about it. We'll see how he handles it. Doc, what would you say are 2024 teams, or this year's teams, probably top 3 traits? What do you feel the top 3 traits of our 2025 team should be? What were they? And I think last year, clearly the offense was great. The kicker was great. And I felt like the safety position was locked down. This year, I think that the biggest traits should be what Dan Campbell says. Punch the ball out, get some more turnovers. Should be a football team that scores a lot of points. So I do think that you got to force some more turnovers on defense outside of the safeties. You got to get them from the linebackers, and you got to get them from a little bit more hands on the football, hopefully more strip sacks from Aiden and Marcus. So defensive prowess, improved play, traits for the Lions that they should just be, a little bit early on, a pounded out kind of team in terms of emphasizing the run, because I think that opens things up. The trait should be run the football behind Penei Sewell and Tate Ratledge at guard and win there, open things up for Jared Goff, continue the offense that you have. 2, more turnovers. And 3, a trait. The best way to put it, I guess, would be, it's a good question, is be able to, I guess the best way to put it is, when you go up against big time quarterbacks, start to be a defense that can limit guys like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, get some more turnovers. I just think that I think it's a trait that you want to keep doing and building on. Like, they had a great bend, don't break defense last year. I think it's a trait that you want to kind of see and have develop and grow and get after it. And maybe even dominate if you can. But I think it's an offensive team that is going to continue to grow on defense. And, when you say traits, it's just, I think they have them already. Competitive, hungry, always wanting to get better. They have the team. They have a lot of the stuff that you would like, but I just think philosophically, the one thing I'm curious is how much are they going to unload the chamber on offense with JMO and those? Yeah, pretty soon. Remember, Brent, I did address this. The first week was for the steak. The JMOs, the Amon-Ra's, the Jack Campbells, the Goffs. Steak right away. We start with steak in training camp. And then you will start to hear, I will definitely bring you guys stuff from Lopez and Grant Stewart and things. Those are great questions. Great questions. I'll definitely hit that for you. Probably in Q&A form. If you want, I hit on sort of that with Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen was right in the middle. Professional. I did a Q&A with him. He's like, coming here from Pittsburgh is like the same. Competitive, great practice habits, and good stuff. Now, those other teams, Stewart and Lopez, weren't in the same position. We have a similar culture to Pittsburgh, so that's why Kyle Allen came here. And so he was just professional. He's like, I asked him, what do you want to try and accomplish? He's like, just the same that I always have. Go out there, have fun, be the best I can be, and get after it. So you can go check out the Kyle Allen Q&A. I dropped it a little bit late at night because there was just so much information. No problem. No problem at all. I'm there, and I think that Detroit will embrace somebody that's one of their, potentially will become one of their own. Good question. I'm simple-minded. I'm a Coors Light, but I actually, at the Tigers game, was blessed to be able to go to the one game that you guys saw on TV. I went and I tried Coors Banquet for the first time. I like it. A little bit higher percentage, a little bit thicker, bolder. Coors Banquet has been treating me very good. 1 can a day before bed, or sitting outside, wrapping up a day, a nice big day. Coors Banquet right now, Derek. What's wrong with the knee? It's not, I would say nothing wrong. It's not impacting him, but it would just, on one of the practices, I want to say it was either Tuesday. I want to say Tuesday. It just looked like he just was favoring it a little bit of discomfort, but it wasn't affecting his speed. It wasn't affecting him at all. But he just is out there. He's moved around today, and I think that it should not impact him. He's going to be out there. I think he's going to be another rookie. When Dan Campbell said he's going to be out there, he's going to be out there. against the Chargers. Not Jeff Bezos. That's a funny story. One day I'll get into it. Maybe tomorrow, if you guys want, just say, "Hey Bezos," I'll tell you that story. It was funny to just how that went down because I highlighted a podcaster that I respected. That wasn't really a big name, but a TV guy, local TV guy that was not still doing the job. So I highlighted something that most people wouldn't. Haha. Cast consideration, right? Here's the great first move, Jacaro. Tigers trade some outfielder nobody ever heard of to the, I think, the Phillies for cash. Great. That's not going to stop a 10 of 11 losing streak. Just one injury today. The cornerback, Stanley Oliver, hamstring evaluation. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, today was a good day. Aha, Kenny, funny guy. Hat head. I've been wearing a hat all day. Theo, will Ratledge play? I actually talked to a couple of veteran linemen that were there today. And I said to them, can you give me, I said, my line today was, can I ask you some professional questions? And they said, sure. I said, do you guys think, do you think that Ratledge should play right guard to start? And he's like, probably, yeah. Because of the fact that, everybody knows that if Tate Ratledge plays center to start the year, every team that has great defensive tackles, and you play some of the good ones this year on your schedule, they're going to send the blitz right through the A gap. They're going to be pressuring right up Tate's side. And I think that I would be scared crapless that, look, Tate's going to win 7 out of 10. But if he misses one mistake, Goff gets rocked. Now you got problems. And I said, and I think I've been stout early in camp. I said, my feeling is coaches like consistency and veterans early. So the blessing is that maybe Tate can play a little bit at center during the preseason, but you know that Graham's your guy to start. Eventually, Tate's going to be the center, but I just think that that's a gamble. Is Gambling Dan going to throw a rookie where I'm a defensive coordinator of the Bengals and the Steelers and the Ravens? I'm like, A-gap blitzes all day long. Let's go, Tate. Let's see what you got, Rook. Make one mistake, and it could be catastrophe. I don't do that. Can't do it, in my humble opinion. I would, and Tate looks good at guard. Now he has some issues, at times, but he looks natural there. It's his natural spot. And so why would you do that to a rookie? That's not fair that you throw this guy into the line of fire where it's a Super Bowl team with a $50 million quarterback. I don't think that's fair. But we'll see. But that's not where I stand at all. He makes better throws, more anticipation, steadily building. My take on Hooker is that I think he'll win the quarterback battle as a backup, but my overall opinion is I just don't see that. I don't like, I look at it like differently. And probably I have ridiculously high standards, which are just like probably not normal. But I kind of feel like I want him to compete for the starter's job. Like, go out there and make it look like, now I know your competition's not the best with you, but you still got Tesla, you still got Brock Wright, you still got a lot of weapons. It looks like a guy that's battling in a backup job, which in that role, in that compartment, looks okay. But I want to see a guy that's like, hey, naturally speaking, hey, could he take Jared's job? There's no chance based on what you see out there. He makes good throws. He's out there, scrambling, reading. He's starting each practice to build on it, but he's not at that level yet where you go, holy cow, zipping every ball in, having a practice where you just go, wow. He's not competing with Jared Goff to take his job. And he may never, ever will. Maybe that's not the ceiling. But I look at it from that perspective. But from the perspective of a guy that should be a backup, he's looking good. Mobile, athletic, moving around. Yesterday there were issues with like procedural stuff. But that's a good question, but I'm not going to, weigh in. I don't want to say this about one guy and have some other guy get mad at me. There's a lot of good media. You guys pick and choose who you like. And thankfully, all I've ever asked for was to just be in the mix. And then I'm of the opinion, you let your work do the talking. Let your consistency do the talking. Show what you got. And those who are gritty get highlighted by Dan Campbell if they watch the film. If they watch the film, real fast, another takeaway here, which I thought was funny to start the day. Dan Campbell goes today, we're watching everything, and we watch you guys. And we all started laughing. Oh, you watched? I would have almost laughed uncontrollably if he would have said, yeah, and the handful of you guys that hid in the shade, real cute. I would have loved that. That would have been an all-timer. He would have been like, yeah, we all noticed that when it got hot, you guys started hiding. Not me. I try to. I almost got ran over today. I try to get so close. I almost, like I said, you just want to be as close to the action as possible because it produces adrenaline. Not at all. I'm not hiding from the heat. No, thank you guys. I know you guys are liking the nature of this, and like I said, I've never, really truly felt comfortable doing it live. I've always been a lab guy, like record a podcast, then trim it down and take out stuff. I never thought that an audience would grow over the course of an hour. I thought would be like, oh, this is boring, or you're an idiot, or I hate you. Someone commented, which was, I thought, the best kind of comment. I hate your personality, but you bring this information different than everybody else. I don't know what that means, but I think I understand. It means that I'm just bringing it, and I just am like talking to you like a buddy would at the bar. Like, hey, this is what I saw today, without that professional air of stuffiness of like, I don't want to tell you how I feel today. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you how I feel about everything. I'm going to overtalk. I'm going to overdo it. I'm going to react emotionally to a lot of things because I'm a sports fan and I'm a guy doing a podcast. That's fun. And today I might go 2 hours. Today I might go 3 hours. You never know. First part flew by. This hour flew by. I got a lot of energy. And I think what I think the reason why is I'm able to do this is this job gives me a nice adrenaline rush. Time is nothing going on. I got the content ready. I got everything in the chambers. So I will eventually, put this as a podcast, but broadcasting live is fun. You guys are liking it. You guys are sharing a lot of comments. You guys have questions, and I'm somebody that can start to deliver it. Ha! No, not at all. He's aging gracefully. He does a great job. Definitely. You learn a lot from guys like him. Professional. What am I saying out of college? Does everything the way you'd want it to be. He had a nice rep against Ahmed, but Ahmed got the win yesterday. But he just does everything the way that you'd want to do it. Number 11, professional, true pro. He will be wide receiver 4, my humble opinion. In my humble opinion, I just think he does everything well. He's a reliable safety valve. One of my other takeaways is the tight ends are always involved. Again, they stand out. These tight ends always stand out. Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, Sam Laporta. They just when the Goff, Hooker, Allen need a play, they're right there in the middle. They find the soft spots. They just handle business. I'll just reset that. Yeah, when you're talking a mile a minute and you got 50 other things in your head. Ragnow is retired. Glasgow, in my opinion, should be the starting center. I asked today a couple people. I asked a couple vets retired that are there that are very friendly with the deck. I said, my thinking is Tate should be the right guard, right? Other beat writers have echoed that because I'm of the opinion that throwing Ratledge to that position early is dangerous with defensive tackles that are going to blitz right through that A gap nonstop with crazy defensive coordinators. So, and plus I keep seeing Ragnow photos fishing and I'm like, man, that sounds fun too. Maybe tomorrow, but there's some content I want to get to. I would presume that, Theo. I would presume that, and we'll find out probably Monday if Dan Campbell reveals that at all. I think when, yeah, you look at it naturally, the expectations are, hey, if this guy, Ahmed Hassanein, is not expected to be Lawrence Taylor, then you just go and meet your markers, and he can meet them. So, yeah, it does help. It does help they have a vet in front of them. It does help that they have some guys like Nate Lynn doing some things, Pat O'Connor doing some things. Great question. Theo's in here with a lot of good questions. Yeah, of course. Panay can make the calls. That's what Hank Fraley told us is like, and others too. TJ Lang told me in a talk I had with him. You can do a lot of different things to help the offensive line make the calls. So that's why, many people still believe that the center spot involves a lot of intricacies with getting the right people in the right spot. So yeah, you can get the calls in a lot of ways, but you just, like I said, the margin for error is so slim that if Ratledge has one rookie mistake, it could be catastrophic. And of course, it could be the same thing with Glasgow, but I think you feel more comfortable with the overall breadth of knowledge with Glasgow. That would make Doc sleep better at night. If Ratledge, okay, if I were to put it like this, if I'm in my non-professional reporting role and I'm a fan, I'm watching the Lions, and I'm like, all right, Lions are going up against the Packers week 1, and Ratledge is the center. I'm lining up 3 Bears, and I'm hitting them pretty fast, being like, okay, this is going to be painful. All right, that'll ease the nerves a little bit. The 3 Coors Banquets would ease the nerves. I'd be like, man, the number one nerves is how are these teams going to attack? I just hope that Ratledge is okay. So my anxiety meter would be at a 7, 6.5, 6. It would be at 6.8, 6.9 out of 10 if a young rookie starting week 1. Glasgow, my anxiety level will be at a 3. You just have 1 beer, you crack it open, you're good. You can lay it down. You don't have to guzzle it. Anxiety doesn't have to be put aside, in my opinion, is one way I'll describe it. All right. Any other questions? If you want anything highlighted, a super chat gets it right to the front of the line, and I'll answer it right away, directly and honestly. All right. Now, this next portion, I'm just going to go through the practice, what I saw. Step by step in these notes. And I shared a little bit of how I scribble. My handwriting is atrocious in regards to how it looks, but it does the knowledge. So we get out there, and you fans are great. I'll share a little bit of you fans, what you guys were doing out there. Fan was great. Brought a couple of high school jerseys from Amon-Ra and Goff. He was like, can you guys get them to come over here and sign it? And we're like, oh, we got to work. We can't stop practice and do that. Sorry, man. We can't do that. So that was fun. And then the highlight of the same guy was he had good energy. He goes, he yells out. And this was funny too, because I tweeted it when it happened at Detroit Podcast. He yells out. He's sitting in the front row. He yells out. He goes, and you guys, because he knows who we are. You can see everybody in the media all on the sideline. And you guys better write positive stuff about these Detroit Lions this year, especially M Live and Detroit News. I see you. We all started laughing. And so I tweeted, yeah, because Ben Raven's the biggest hater of the media. I'm kidding. Ben's one of the nicest ones. I make sure I ask him, is he taking care of himself? He's a great beat writer. Nice transition from the previous beat writer to the new one. And I complimented him directly. I don't share. I don't hide. If I like something, I tell people, hey, I like, I joke around at first. I tell all the podcasters their podcast sucks naturally in a kidding way. I say, man, your podcast sucked today. Because I know they're all trying it. Maybe some of them love it as much as I do. But I know it's just another thing for a lot of people. It's just another task that they have. It's different for me when you run the outlet and everything is you're in control of. So I joke around, and I hope nobody ever takes anything I say seriously, because I'm a nice person. But it's funny. I always walk up to certain reporters. I'm like, man, your podcast was pretty boring today. I couldn't get through it. And then the next day I'll be like, man, I got through like 6 minutes. You're getting a little better. And let me know. I don't even, like I said, I've never really taken a poll lately because I've been employed doing this, but I think the podcast does well. I think this content is fair, but could it be more entertaining, more bold? Sure. But this is kind of more of a recap. A lot of the weekly Lions on SI is my takes with Christian. So we'll see how it continues to play out. Almost 700 people. Let's go. Keep retweeting, keep liking it. I'm happy. I'm happy. More and more of you are here. So I told Ben, I said, man, you guys are right on it. MLive does a great job. Great job. Him and Corey, definitely high on my list of people definitely follow. And of course, what happens is when Corey and Ben do a great job, there's more of them. I'm trying to get more, and they're getting 3-4 dudes there. I'm like, the MLive team is like the NWO. Y'all keep growing. Like, I look around and it's like 6 guys got MLive tags. I'm like, yeah, you need 6 guys to do this job. But how am I supposed to feel? I got 1. Damn you, Ben. But it also gives me like some happiness that I'm a one-man band with the help of a couple other guys on the outside. But imagine if I had another set of eyes there. Oh my God, we broadcast for 4 hours every practice. Of course not. I'm nice. But I'm direct, and it can come off in a funny way. I'm sarcastic. I don't like one of those people who likes to poke the needle or poke the bear. I like to talk crap. I'm the seedy deuce of the media, but that you can talk to, that you can sit and have a beer with. So that was the fun part to start, was the fans were into it. You guys know what was going on. I shook a couple hands. You guys were so nice. Walking by. Hey, Doc. Always respectful. I appreciate that. Yeah, of course. NFL Plus, baby. That's how we get Dan Campbell. Over 700 people in here. That's awesome. I'm kidding. It's like 3. Like, I think it's 3. Why? Because there's 2 fields. There's 15 people that talk all the time. You need one person to cover the Dan Campbell, because Dan Campbell talks at 8. You need content out. We go to practice 8:30. One guy can sit in the room and the 2 other guys can go to practice. You need 3, respectfully. 3. Another outlet has 5, truly has 5, has 2 beat writers and like 2 or 3 columnists. They're growing like flies, but they're one of the best. So I'm proud of myself that our numbers keep growing and we're still in the mix with a one-man band showing up there. One guy covering 2 fields. One old guy. I'm 46 years old. I'm running around taking footage. You guys see? I think I had the best shot. Another outlet, a professional outlet, had the pass between Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs. I thought mine was better. I was pretty happy with that. Maybe a little slice of like, a little pat on the back. I'll tell him. I said to that reporter, I said, "You're my friend here." And he laughed too. I said, "You're my friend now." And we joke around. I'm friendly with everybody there. There's going to be nobody that says that. They'll say he's silly and he tweets a lot of dumbass shit. I don't know, dumbass stuff. But yeah, that's what it's for. All right, let's go through this practice. I write this note, so I'm going to go through this whole thing, probably in 15, 20 minutes or so. And if you want me to veer off, or let me know. No, I would say my prediction would be 4. Maybe get some in bunches. We'll see. Yeah, I'm the seedy deuce. I definitely have a sharp, sarcastic tongue, but it's all in fun. It's all like, best way to put it is locker room talk. One of the boys. That's me. One of the boys. And that's all I ever wanted to be known as. One of the guys. One of the boys. I'm one of the boys. I still haven't needled them yet, but I still can't believe those guys went to the shade. I can't believe it. And let someone take a photo. It should have been like sending messages like, "My manager will be speaking to you. Take that down. Don't tell everybody I sit in the shade." You'll never catch the Doc unless I'm greeting somebody that I know in the stands getting shade. Take the heat. All right. Get out there. Fans are talking. It's all good. Now you start. All right. You start some team periods. It's just lighthearted. It's drills. It's lighthearted stuff. Nothing, it's just a couple tosses here, there. You saw the toss that I highlighted. warm-ups, tosses, individual type stuff. You see the drills. That's kind of the early portion of practice. That's around the time that I take those photos and that you see the live blog air around 8:45. You get to it. It's fun. And it's get everybody ready to go. That's when we start taking attendance. That's when we're like, oh, Alex is here. Kirby's not. Oh, Ennis is back. Oh, this is fun. Some good guys are back. Al-Quadine's back. This is when we start taking attendance. So then there's another portion where they start breaking off into groups. And that's when you see some tosses from golf to, that's when you saw each individual group does their own drills. And Kyle Allen butchered the accuracy drill to start. And it's fun to see because I've highlighted too on Twitter. I highlighted it because it's a good drill. It's the footwork drill. The quarterbacks are shuffling. They put the cones down and it's just shuffling your feet. Boom, 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 boom. Tossing into the net. Goff, okay. Hooker, okay. Kyle Allen, not okay. And he was all over the place. And so you're all over the place. You butcher it. You don't win. I don't know if it's competition with the others. You don't win. Push-ups. Kyle Allen, unfortunately, the victim of bad accuracy to start to practice. Now, again, take it what you will. This is just the very beginning of practice. And the net, it requires, the media has tried to toss it through. We've had a chance to throw it. It's not exactly easy to nail. You got to have the velocity and you got to be accurate to get it in there. Simple. I was started in February. I was someone DM'd another YouTuber. I'll give credit on Monday too, or maybe tomorrow. Another YouTuber said, "Why aren't you doing YouTube?" And I said, "I'm a lab guy. I just want to I just want to hide in my office, and I have the studio here, lights. I don't want to do this live." And he said, "No, do it." So we got to almost 3,000 subscribers in 6 months. Nearly 110,000 views already. That's pretty good. But again, this is not my hub. This is actually a bonus. It's fun growing it, but the hub of the operation is the website. We have millions of views on the videos we do. Go check them out. si.com, as you see on the scroll. That's where the big numbers are, where I put most of the short clips. Go there. The hub of the operation, the number one priority where all the podcasts go is there. Here is growing a community, giving people what they want. But we'll see where it goes. And really in the end, I think my work speaks for itself. And that's really nice of you guys to keep commenting. This channel is 6 months old. That's it. But you see the difference. I bring you the action. So then the team stuff starts. Okay, and it's a lot of runs. This is where we start seeing the stuff. All right, so the first team period, 16's giving it to Jameer. Light runs, but the defensive tackles are clogging it. Nothing there. Jameer, handling business, number one thing, ball security, no fumbles. You just want to start to see the tackling and the intensity, and so far, so good. Second team unit. Now, Tate Ratledge, the guy that we were talking about, he drew the attention of the crowd early for the wrong reason. Jared Goff, hut. Oh, 69 jumped. And the crowd was right there on him. Oh! One guy yelled out, "Can't do that, Tate! Come on, Tate!" And they had to reset. And it happened in the second team as well, a procedural type stuff. But listen, it's not an epidemic. It happens. This is where you make your mistakes. This is where you throw the ducks in training camp. It's never going to be perfect. So one of my early notes was 2 false starts, 1 on each unit. And the offensive line was, as you would expect, 70 is at left. You got Mahogany, Graham Glasgow, Tate Ratledge, Penei Sewell. Those are your guys. Second team, 59, 74, 67 is the center, 52 at right guard, and 72 the right tackle. They're okay. A couple run plays to Craig Reynolds is what happens there. Now, this is when the first hootin' and hollering started. On the third team, The two notes on that series on the third team that I took that got the crowd roaring. 25 ran, and I'm sorry, guys. If you want to help the chat out, when I give the numbers, you can equate it. But on third teams, I'm not digging for names. You know what I mean? Second team, most of the names you're going to know. But if you want, I'll say it slowly, and you can get after it. 25 blew up 24 and got the crowd into it, ran into him and got over it. And it was a run play, I believe, and he definitely was ferocious and let everybody know that it was his time. So 25-1 over the defensive back. A player that a lot of people are talking about, and actually I probably, you know what, let's not make excuses. I shouldn't do that. It should be easy for me to pull up the roster and just get the numbers for you, because you can set it up pretty easily. Hold me accountable, because, you know, we're the media. We have some things we're strong at and some things we're lazy at. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to you guys. I write their numbers down bold. Everything else is messy, but Kyle Robichaud blew up number 24, Lauren Strickland. And he let him know it. 47 got the attention of everybody. He blew up a run play. And Ezekiel Turner, he was there. He was quickly in the backfield, and he got after it. So with love. You can say whatever you want, but you got to put "you suck," respectfully. So that was the early things. Those are the early things that would happen within the first team periods. Now we get back to another team period. First play from Goff is 287. You know it's his go-to. And he runs and runs and runs, and he showcases why he's the bomb, why he's the man. He's the man. 87. Dan Skipper was okay, held his own on a run play to David Montgomery. I put Skip sets the tone, meaning that, Skip set the tone to open and spring a nice run by David Montgomery. What I meant by setting the tone was in regards to his blocking ability. At left tackle, you're dealing with a lot of different things, and I felt like early on Skipper was holding his own, and it wasn't as bad as it started to get later on. And then the guy that everybody wants to talk about had a nice rep. Right after, put 97 super fast on number 5, and he just was right up in David Montgomery's business. 97 right away. Right away showcased what was going on. To your point, Big Mike, big ego. Duh. So 97 in a team period sets the tone. So there's 3 pages, 6. So we're on 2 of 6. And then we'll bust out of here. Second team period comes up. There was a little bit of clunkiness, but at times there were some plays that were like, okay, this is noteworthy. "13, Craig Reynolds evaded 36 on a nice play. So 36, Eric Hallett tried to get in the mix there. 13 made a move, got a nice operation. A lot of design runs for Hendon Hooker, which definitely showcases speed. And again, the safety valve of all the quarterbacks is the tight ends. So Hooker in this period found number 84. Shane Zylstra. Nice pass over the middle. Good completion. Then there was one rep that was chaotic where it was a screen pass. Most people believe it was Lovett, but the defense just collapsed to the left. It was a short. I mean, those short passes tend to be a little bit tough from Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker was a 2 today. All right. And then we get to the third team period, and that's when the first highlight happens. And it's Kyle Allen to 83 Jackson Meeks. It's the first play, one of the first plays. And Jackson Meeks goes, and he's facing number 38. If I wrote it down, I could have. It says 83, 38. Now look here, I don't see a 38, which is great. Well, let me just say that the defensive back had good coverage. Everybody out there said good coverage, right in lockstep. Jackson Meeks handled business. Let me just make sure it's 83 is Jackson Meeks, because I'm sure that's what I started. Jackson Meeks had one of the big catches of the day, and it got everybody all up in arms. Like, yes, great coverage, good toss by Kyle Allen, and he handled business. The next rep was a nice toss to number 19, Dominic Lovett, and 36 was in coverage. Now, the one aspect of these things that the one part of, Stanley Thomas Oliver. And I think that's where you're absolutely right. What's tough is with the identification of some jersey numbers, the one thing that they should ban for players is when they tuck their jersey up, because then the 1 looks like a 7, the 9 looks like a 1, and you're just like, oh my gosh, because I take the note and then I input it into the phone. So Jackson Meeks makes the one-handed grab, and that's where I think Stanley, this is where his day is over. Comes up limped. Thank you, Theo. You're on it today, man. Crushing it. I don't know why. See, that's even why I said 38, and he's not even on the website. Like, what's going on here? Numbers 38 is not on the website. Can we get Stanley on the website for the doc? He might be not on the team anymore. Let me see what's going on here. He's not officially on the Lions website roster. I'm telling you right now, live. I should share the screen. It's effing hilarious, but I'm not going to do that to my guys. He's not on the screen. Why isn't he on the screen? That's hilarious. 36, 39. Can we get Stanley on the website, please? Tech people. You guys want me to share that? I can't do that to these guys. That's funny. That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the screen, and there's no 38 on the Detroit Lions website. Can we get my man Stanley some love? And then we get, from there, we get Jake Bates kicking, and he makes them all. 33, 38, 43. All good. All right. Now, this is where I have a little bit of a gripe with my fellow colleagues. 7, this is now, what I just reported on was team periods. Full defense, full offense. Now, the next is 7-on-7, which is favoring the offense. If you see somebody just praising the team, and that's why I said I want to go through this whole thing. 7-on-7 is made for the offense. There's less defenders. It's made for the offense. So you can't say, oh, man, the offense is clicking on 7-on-7. They have to execute, but it's 7-on-7. You should always highlight full team 7-on-7. So the first play, 7-on-7, 16-1, touchdown. J-Mo dunks it. He dunks it. You want to know, did he celebrate? The one time he officially celebrated, he tried to dunk it. I think he hit the crossbar, and it flew up in the air. I don't know if it went in or over, but he went through a windmill, and he celebrated, dunk over the goalpost. And this is where you read reports that Goff was like 5 of 6 and got some in there. 7-on-7, guys. This is meant to be, hey, get your guys open and handle business. Goff tossed it to Kyle Freeman a couple times. Goff tossed it to 84, Zylstra. Now the first boo of the day. I don't even think I wrote this, which was unfortunate because I figured as much I was going to share it. David Montgomery had a drop to the right. 16-5, dropped by David Montgomery. Good pass, bobbled. And then you had 16 going to 85 to cap it off in this 7-on-7 period. Now, there may be a play or two I missed, but those were the big plays that were impactful. Oh, 16-85 is Tom Kennedy. Pay attention to that name. Mr. Kennedy had himself a nice day today. Had himself a nice day, in my humble opinion. And then we see After the 7-on-7 period, we see Jake Bates again. 3 more good kicks. This is where I position myself in the end zone, and now we get to start seeing the advantage of the screen, and we can start writing some good stuff down. So that was a 7-on-7 period. I thought it was good. A good 7-on-7 period. Good times. Nothing crazy there. Now, the next set of 7-on-7s, you get, opportunities from Hendon Hooker to go to 85 for a touchdown. The one really not great pass from Hendon Hooker that stood out in 7-on-7s was a toss to Shane Zylstra. 24 was in coverage. It wasn't the best toss, not the best one. The touchdown went to number 19. Had himself a good time, and he was doing his thing. So 7-on-7, you just get procedural type stuff. Who's getting the looks? The young rookies and TK were getting some great attention. I thought they were doing their thing. All right. Now, I think the highlight of a lot of the practice was the red zone full team. And this is where it kind of started to go off a little bit. 16, his first, Terrion was there on the left side. Nothing was happening. Nothing was developing. He threw it out of bounds. The next play was going to be a sack. Done deal. This is where the defensive tackles start to pressure and collapse. He tried again with Khalif Raymond. It didn't work out. 21 was in coverage, not a good look. And then it was a run play to number 5. Starts off the second team. You go with Hendon Hooker again. Run play to Craig Reynolds. You had a pass to 88. You had a run play to number 42. Third team, again, who's there? 83, Jackson Meeks, doing his thing. Doing their thing. I think in the battle of Allen Hooker today, pretty fair, pretty even. Both were doing their thing with the talent that they had. Both were doing the things that they needed to do with the talent that they had. I felt like it was some good operations and some good things going on. And so you get these team periods, you get some competitiveness, you get opportunities to handle everything that's going on. And everything is taking place. Now, back to the first team, and this is where the details come in of some guys that maybe will look at that and go, oh, this is where the film goes. We got to pay attention. 16 did eventually toss it to 89. It was a completion. But there was a situation that sometimes a play will develop and it'll happen, but there's a play within the play. 97, this is one of the first plays where I'm looking at the screen and we're all like, oh, because the play got out. Because 97, you can't destroy the quarterback. Like Aiden can't hit the quarterback. Ahmed can't hit the quarterback. And so 97 put a move on number 70, Dan Skipper. Oh, it was bad. Aiden, the best way to describe it, little dip to the right and burst to the left. And Dan is still at the right. I think he might have ended up in the stands. So it went into his left. So Dan bit, and so I'll demonstrate. Ready? Dan Skipper. And there's Aiden. Within, and listen, you can't blame him. Aiden put a move, boom. It was within 3 seconds, and Dan is still still trailing to the left. and it's just one of those things. If you're lighthearted, he'll laugh, but he's a competitor. But Aiden, rep of the day, and he would have destroyed Jared Goff. Derek Barnes had a nice practice, got a little bit of pressure when Goff completed a pass to number 11 with 21 in coverage. So, you're making moves, you're doing things, and these are all team periods going now from the end zone to the other way. So we can watch the screen. It's going up the field, not to the end zone. Second team, a play was made on Isaac Tesla. A play was made by a defensive back. A nice play. Number 17 had great coverage on number 18. DiCaprio Boodle won the rep against Tesla. And then there was a run play. 17, I put great coverage on 18 on a pass play by Hendon Hooker. And then the third team, Uku had a nice pressure. Kyle Allen had a scramble. 83 beat Boodle in coverage. And then that's kind of how it went. You started seeing reps go down and things like that. You started seeing the end. The end was, I think, a four play set. The ending was Boodle beat by Isaac Tesla on a great play. The practice ended on a great note for the Lions. You had a scramble by Hendon Hooker. You had a nothing middle run by Craig Reynolds. And you had a nice spike by Tesla to end practice. So those are the gist of the highlights that took place. And then the one-on-one battles took place in the middle of all of that. So that's a nice little 30-minute recap of what kind of went on. The big plays were highlighted on SI. So those were the things that went down. And the practice was proficient. Nobody got hurt. That is day one starter. We'll find out about Stanley on Monday. We'll find out more about Kirby. He's been tweeting. So, typically guys that are going through a lot of medical evaluations and not looking great, he's fun on social media. So maybe you guys will tell me first. He eventually went out there and, is on social media battling with people that are trolling him. So we'll find out what that means for the future. So that was the practice. Those were my main takeaways. I felt like the defense was handling their business quite a bit. They were getting after it to the degree that it was impacting the run game and what was going on. Now, a couple of little highlights in the individuals. Goff did throw a duck to Jameson Williams, but he threw a dime to Jahmyr Gibbs. That's how it goes. All right. With my last 5 minutes here, any lasting questions from today? I think it was comprehensive. I think I gave you as much as humanly possible from a up-close vantage point view. Ha, funny. Hopefully, 9 makes more plays when he's out there. How is the other defensive end looking on the other side of 97, not including Davenport? They're looking good. I said Pat O'Connor looks good. Mitchell Agude making plays. Nate Lynn. They're having their opportunities to make plays. They're pressuring. They're making Manu's life hell. Manu's kind of getting the left tackle treatment. I just think that's going to be tough. I think TK is just a try hard camp warrior that is. It's just tough, man. He's got a tough field. I think that this Lions like having him around because he works hard. He's basically the 4A guy. He's number 55 all the time, but there's a 53-man roster. But I would be shocked if he's not on the practice squad. Thank you, guys. And like I said, I've never really gone through the notes like that, team period by team period, but I had an extra half hour today before getting to the next article. So thank you, guys. No, this is fun. This is not work at all. Yeah. I mean, it's a fair assessment. They can get better. He wasn't there today. Injured. Kennelly was on the injured list. And again, you guys can go replay this later on down the line. All right. That sounds good. I feel like I've handled a lot of the questions that you guys are interested in. Hammer the likes. Tomorrow's an off day. There's no practice Sunday. Monday, we'll be back at it. Tomorrow, I'll give a little talk, maybe just 30 minutes, just a big summation of everything going on after reading everything and seeing what my colleagues have also put together. But thank you guys. That was like literally, I could probably go another 3 hours just talking some narratives and things like that. But I think 90 minutes is good. 100 minutes is good for today. Thank you guys humbly for the 750 people. It grew. That's amazing. The audience grew the entire time on social media and on YouTube. Again, Detroit Lions on SI. And so let me just end with clearing up any confusion because I go by different names, which is great. I started the Detroit Sports Podcast. The Detroit Sports Podcast partners with whoever we want. I own that, co-own it with my great cousin, Adam Straczynski. We are the hub. We are the brain. We do everything. Produce, do that. We do it all. So we dictate the success or the failure of the project. Project has been successful. We partner with whoever we want. One of the biggest partners is OnSI. OnSI loves us, and so they work with us. And in return, we provide content for them and cover the Detroit Lions as reporters and go to Allen Park and cover the team. But we are fully obligated to cover one NFL team for OnSI, the Lions, and we're free to broadcast and provide content. And so with that, Detroit Sports Podcast website, the Lions coverage is located on SI. And so with that, you can go to the website for all the written content, all my short clip videos, national videos, interviews, the Alex interviews there. You can see me asking Alex questions. You'll always see a video on a fresh article at Lions on SI. Now we're on YouTube as well, and we're just taking the same content and just maneuvering it in different spots. The website is the primary hub. The Twitter page is the central like call station at Detroit Podcast. It's where you say, hey, this is where a podcast is showing up. Hey, this is where an article comes in. And basically the call center is the Twitter page. And then it just shoots out to where I need you to go. The website for articles, the YouTube for the live broadcast. And so the call centers, and then the X is the terrible call center because I give my stupid opinions on there where I just, my thesis is if I think it, just spew it and say it. And so that's where you just get my silly reactions and have fun on at the call center. The professional side is the YouTube and the website. I think that makes really great sense. The X is the call center, and the website and the YouTube and are just all spots where content lies. And I'm going to grow a YouTube channel as just the same way I grew the website. Website's great, has a lot of it's still, the lights are on with employees that are having a good time. I thought it was great too. I really do. Like I said, I don't know if you guys are blowing smoke because typically podcasts are a little bit more in-depth interview style or a little bit more, here's my opinion on X, Y, and Z, but just conversation descriptions. If you guys like it and you don't think I'm just rambling or going off into ADD land with questions in the mix, I'm humbled that you guys like this. And because I've not gone into this realm of just, hey, do it live. I've always been record stuff, produce it, edit it up, add what I need, take out what I don't need, keep it within a time frame. But I went solo for 103 minutes, and you guys stuck with it and grew it throughout the time. Man, that's fun. Thank you. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. I look forward to it, to light it up again next week. Look forward to light it up Sunday. See you guys tomorrow.